Hi, I'm Sarah, the Master Colour Expert and Creative Director here at Bark Hair, and welcome to Hairspace. Today we're doing part 5 of our Salon vs Supermarket series, and we're going to be talking about toners. Now, if you're a blonde like myself, you probably already know what a toner is, but if you don't, as the name would suggest, a toner is a colour that we put on top of another colour to either add a fashion tone, like my pretty pink, or to get rid of an unwanted tone, like that orange that we did on our lovely lady last week. So basic colour principles are really important when it comes to colouring hair in the salon. If you've done art, you're probably already familiar with the colour wheel, which is where the 3 primary colours and the 3 secondary colours are all set out in a lovely little wheel with a colour directly opposite. Now the colour directly opposite each of those colours, they work together to neutralise each other out. So for purposes of making it easy, I've done this for us here. So you can see you've got your primary colour red, its corresponding colour that neutralises it is the green. You've got your orange, blue, counteracts that. You've got your yellow, violet, counteracts that one. Now we use these principles a lot in the salon. We're really familiar with them now, and we can easily look at your hair and decide what we need to use to counteract the colour, to add the tone that you want, to make sure that you have the really, really gorgeous colour when you leave the salon. So generally in the salon, we use a semi-permanent colour. When we use our semi-permanents in the salon, they do actually last a lot longer than the sort of 8 washes which your true semi-permanents do, which is why they're much more effective as toners. They can actually open up that cuticle a little bit, get that colour in there to really start counteracting those tones more effectively, and afterwards they actually last a lot longer because they've actually had time to develop rather than just sitting directly on top of your hair. The options we have at the salon are actually pretty extensive. So you've got your natural colours, such as like your 7/0, which is just a plain neutral kind of tone. You've got your fashion shades, such as this 9/96. Now, but we also have these things called mixed tones. Now, mixed tones are ones which have all of these sort of basic colours in them, so we can add them to any colour to kind of give you whichever colour you want. So if you do need to neutralise, we really have all the tools available to give you exactly what you need. At the supermarket, however, there was a lot less options. I've picked 2, and honestly, that was pretty much it. So you either had a conditioner, which is got very, very, very limited amount of colour pigment in it, or you had these temporary colours. So both of these only last up to 8 washes, and they're a direct colour, which means they don't have a developer in them and they just sit basically on the outside of your hair. This one is called Cool Restore, the Cool Ash. Now, ash is a name that's often used for blue when we talk about colour, but not always, so you do have to be a bit careful about that one. To make it really easy for you though, this is said anti-orange toner. So this is all put out that it is definitely going to get rid of orange tones in your hair. It does say it won't get rid of red tones, but it will get rid of orange tones. This is the live colour here. So this is a silver toner. It just says it's a good vibrant colour for a number of different occasions that you might need to use it. I, during the week, did a little test with these ones. So I'm going to show you the results of those in a moment, and you can see I used both of these, and I used our semi-permanent colours. I did 2 different options, and you can see the results in just a moment. experiment during the week, but I just want to have a quick recap. Looking at our little color chart here, you can see that blue is actually one of the darkest colors on here. So getting rid of orange tones can be really quite complicated, because you can probably imagine what happens when you put blue on top of orange is that, yep, totally gets rid of that orange, but it does make it appear a lot darker. We always do tell people that want to have cooler colors in their hair, like the blues and the purples, and using those sort of silver and ashy tones, your hair is always going to appear a little bit darker than if you were a warmer tone, mostly because of just how it reflects the light. You're going to see those bright colors, those oranges and your reds and your yellows, you're going to see them a lot more easily. So even a cream, which has a slightly warmer undertone, you're going to see a lot more brightness from that than if you do an ashy toner. So just be aware of that when you are choosing your toners, that cooler toners are always going to appear a bit darker. And this is a really good example of it here. So if you're seeing orange in your hair, like a true orange like this, you can be pretty confident that you actually haven't got really light with your hair, and you are a very dark blonde as opposed to a light blonde. And if you're going to neutralize that orange, it is going to appear a lot darker than you're probably expecting. As you can see here, we have got rid of that orange where we did this half, where we did the semi-permanent with the ashy tone and the 7 level. So we have neutralized it. It's actually quite a nice color now. Not orange any longer, but probably a little bit deeper than what you're expecting if you wanted to do this. But this is what you would have to have if you didn't want to go any lighter and you just wanted to get rid of orange. At the front, I knew this wouldn't work, so this isn't actually to show you how that toner would work. But you can see how using something that's too light for your hair as a toner just isn't going to be very effective. Now this is important because when it comes to the supermarket options, those semi-permanent colors that we have don't actually have a base level to them, which means that they're just a pigment tone without anything to anchor it down into the hair there. So you can kind of see opposite here, even where we've done a semi-permanent, like a true semi-permanent without a developer, versus where we did use the developer and it has a level to it. So this was a 10 level. You did actually get a little bit more kind of tone to this one than at the front there where you don't have that. And that's because it just has a little bit more of that base in it to anchor it into the hair and to let those pigments work. But because the hair wasn't light enough, it's not super effective, and you're not really seeing much of a change to it. It is less orange, but not a lot less orange. However, you can see where we were that yellowy kind of color in between there. It actually has worked really well because the 10/6 is a 10 violet, and we added a little bit more of the violet blue to it, so it would give you that really kind of cool icy tone. On that yellow, it has actually counteracted the yellow and then left that blue kind of behind and a little bit of that violet that was a bit stronger in that mix to give you that really nice icy tone where the hair is light enough. So it is really possible to get something beautiful, but you do really have to know what you're doing to know that it's going to work out. On the other hand, where we did our semi-permanent colors, neither of them have been super effective. They're both quite orange. Even the anti-orange at the back, which we were hoping would be really good, it really hasn't done much to it. So these are not really strong colors, which means that great, if you use them, you're probably not going to do anything too bad to your hair, but you're also probably not going to do much else to it. It hasn't really worked on these ones. It didn't really have the ability to. I didn't really anticipate that it would. You have got a little bit more of that tone up at the front from the silver toner than you did from the anti-orange, but all in all, it hasn't even really done much to where that yellow was. So over the last couple of weeks, I think we can safely say that coming into the salon is going to give you better results for your hair, both for the health of your hair and for the look of your hair. So next week, we're going to be doing our final episode of Salon versus Supermarket. We're going to be talking about fashion toners, so we're going to be going a little bit wild and we're going to see what we can achieve on this beautiful woman who has had her hair a little bit experimented on now, so why not take it all the way and give her something a bit crazy to finish with. If you want to talk to us in the meantime, you can find us on barkhair.com.au, on Facebook, on Instagram @barkhair, or you can make a comment, send us a message, or email us at paddington@barkhair.com.au. So I hope to see you next week, and in the meantime, look after your hair. Bye!